Hello and welcome to tutorial 3 in the series. Today we're going to be discussing the piano roll. First of all, I'll show you how to get the piano roll up. We can get it up by clicking up here. There's a piano roll button there, or easier, which is what I do all the time. When you're working in the step sequencer here, you get your instrument and you right click it and it brings up this little menu, and you just simply click piano roll and it will pop up. Alternatively, if you do want to change between channels, at the top here you see a little drop down menu. You can click that and it will bring up all of the unsorted and audio clips, etc. from your step sequencer, and they'll be shown here, and you can just click between them and it will change instrument. So from the previous tutorial we had the Moogish synth, and I'm going to be talking about how to add these into our project. So this is our piano roll. We want to put in some notes. We'll just add, I don't know, just some random notes in here. We'll just play those through. So once we've clicked them in, we can drag them to change their size, which is quite useful. Or if you notice up here, we have different tools. We have the paint tool, which will, if we click and drag, it will bring up loads in one row rather than just one, all of the same size. If we want to cut them in half, we can cut them like that. If we want to scale down, because we're working with so many notes and we can't exactly see them all on the screen at the same time, etc., or we want to go more in depth into the notes, all we have to do is drag this toolbar down and it will expand the piano roll for us. And if we want to go to make it closer in, up and down, there next to this scroll bar at the top there is actually a thing here which we can click and drag, and this will just change the width of the notes that we click in. You may also see this thing at the bottom. This is to do with our articulations. If I show you first when we play this, so at the top here, make sure this is not on song, make sure it's on pat, because pat means it's playing from the pattern. We're playing from the piano roll within the pattern, so just click play. So we just have a simple little loop there. Here we have the word velocity, and this is basically our articulation selection pane. When we click down here, it's always default at velocity. Velocity is basically just the volume of the sound. So we have this sound is at that volume, but if we want to make it louder, all we have to do is click this up and that will suddenly be, it stands out more than the other notes because it is a higher volume. This is really useful for things like realistic drum sounds, to make a snare roll like go up and down within the volume range. Also, you'll see that these have letters on. If you don't like seeing them as letters, you can change that at this ABC thing up here. If you click that, we'll change it to piano notes. Still obviously plays exactly the same sound, it's just some people prefer looking at things differently. I personally prefer seeing the notes because it helps you learn which key is what on the piano. Also, I'd like to talk about some simple shortcuts. I don't want to confuse too many people, but if all we have to do to select all of the notes within our piano roll is Control and A. Upon pressing Control and A, it will select all of the notes within the piano roll. Once we've got this, all we have to do is Control and C, and we can copy it. And if we press Control and B, it will in fact paste it, and we can just drag it along, and we could have 2 of those, for example. And this red thing here is a loop selector, so if you only want it to loop between these, you double click and drag and it will show that, so it will only loop between that. Or if we double click it, it will unselect it and we can just play it. You'll also notice that if we draw a note now, it will have a full velocity. This is because whenever we change an articulation, it will always update that note with that articulation, and this is very important for things like panning, because you could say I wanted this E to be panned left, so I click it down, and I want this C to be panned up, to pan right, sorry, we click it up. This will draw out, and we'll notice it will switch between ears. However, if we now draw a new sound, it's always going to be panned to the right, and if we forget to reset this back to center, we can have some issues further on down the line when we're trying to make our sounds better, and we don't want to be able to only hear the song through the right ear, do we? So we need to make sure that it's always to pan center unless stated otherwise. There's also the shortcut key to change octave. So say you want to move from C5 to C6, all you do is press Control and up on the keyboard, so the up arrow, and it will go to C6, or down C5, down C4, up C5. If you want to change the note by one rather than going up a whole octave, just go up a single key. Just hold Shift and press up, and it will take you up through them. Shift down also changes that to go down note. If we want to just select notes within the piano roll, all we have to do is hold Control, click and drag, and then that will just select whatever we have dragged to select. Also, if we want to copy, if we want an easier way to copy the notes from the piano roll, we just right click on the sampler within the step sequencer, we click edit, we click copy, and we can go on to the other one we want to change, edit, paste, and then as you can see it's just pasted it straight in there. So say if we want to solo this, so we only hear this, and then we've got it playing through a different instrument as opposed to this instrument, or you can play them both together. Sometimes things can get complicated with our notes, and we can end up messing things up by accident, and this little drop down menu here is really useful for the snap feature, especially because we can snap it to the, say we snap it to a sixth of a beat. This can get really confusing because the notes are so small. So what we want to do is just make sure that snap's always online for now, and it will make sure it never skips a beat, so everything's in time, and this can cause problems later on. Also, if you click on here and click helpers, if you make sure Ghost Channels is selected, then when you go onto a different instrument within the channel, you'll see that the ghost notes are actually there from the previous channel in the step sequencer. This allows us to draw in notes more easily on different instruments to remember where they are on other channels. Other than that, I'm not really sure there's a lot to the piano roll which you could benefit from. I feel like I've spoke about most things which would help a basic person. Oh yeah, also, sorry, this chord thing. You can just click major, for example, tap C, and it will automatically key in the major key for you. If you want to get rid of that, you just go to chord and then go back to none at the top, and then if you click it in again, you'll see it's only clicked in one C and not the whole chord. But yeah, thanks for watching my tutorials. I hope this has helped you. In the next tutorial, we'll be talking about the playlist and how to start building up our beats properly to make a full track. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in my next tutorial. Thank you.